All right. The Guardians begin a 7-game homestand, Zach, against the I was going to say the Tigers, but they'll play the Tigers after. They'll first play the Padres in the first of a 3-game series this weekend. First pitch 7:10. I know a lot of fans will be frustrated because the Guardians' first game back is on Apple TV. So if you don't have Apple TV, it's not great. But Matt Waldron pitching for the Padres and Tanner Bybee on the hill for the Guardians. We talked about Bybee, I don't know if it was Monday or last Friday. His last 2 starts have not been as good, obviously, but we both were impressed with the fact that he gave it the 4-run. We're not impressed that he gave it 4 runs over 3 innings, but that he was able to go through another 4 innings and kind of lock it in after that. So what are you expecting after some time off here from Tanner Bybee as he hits the mound tonight?
Interesting pitching matchups this weekend. You know, it's first of all Matt Waldron revenge game.
Yep,
he was in the Mike Clevenger, Josh Naylor trade.
That's right. Yes, he was,
and now he's like a semi knuckleballer, and
he is the only one.
He's been all right.
Yeah.
But more than just Bybee, it's to me, it's him and Williams. I want to get a glimpse of these guys are going to pitch back-to-back days, and I don't know. You had especially Bybee, he's had more than a week now to rest, and I think he knows, and Williams knows, like you've got 2-ish months left of the regular season, and it's got to be full throttle, and it's got to be proving that the team can hand the ball to you guys for games 1 and 2 of a playoff series. We all know that they need to try to address the rotation here before the trade deadline, but can those guys be the anchors? Because it's not just this year either. I know we all want to focus on that, but these are supposed to be the pillars of your rotation for the next X number of years, and it would be a nice time to blossom, to cement your status as a frontline starting pitcher. I think we've seen glimpses of that from Bybee so far. I think Williams certainly has that capability, and he's going to be fresher than everybody else too. So for Gavin Williams, can you pitch deep into games here? And him against Dylan Cease on Saturday will be fascinating. So they need to win when those guys are on the mound. I think that's the big thing. You're going to have Carrasco and who knows, maybe Spencer Howard against the Tigers, and we've seen that story before.
Well, Ben Lively's going to go the final game of the series against San Diego on Sunday. You're right. I mean, have they announced officially Carrasco for the first game of the Tigers series? I don't think.
No, just this weekend.
Yeah. So I assume Carrasco will pitch game 4. You mentioned Spencer Howard. Fans are going to get up in arms if he pitches again. You think there's a chance they call, even though he hasn't pitched well, that they call either Logan Allen or Tristan McKenzie back up to pitch that second game against the Tigers?
I do. I haven't heard that, but just an educated guess would say, you know, we've barely seen any of Spencer Howard, and yet we've seen enough. It feels like.
I think so. Let's see. The tricky thing is whoever you call up, whoever you pitch on Tuesday, that guy's going to have to his second start. I mean, it doesn't have to be that guy, but the rotation, the next start for that guy will be a Sunday game against Philadelphia. So whoever it is, whether it's Howard, whether it's McKenzie, whether it's Allen, okay, you get a soft landing spot for your first game, the Tigers at home. But then your second start, because there's no days off, so it's not like they could skip whoever it is that early. Your second start at Philadelphia, I mean, that's about the worst place you want to be.
It could be Garrett Crochet or Eric Fetty, or
that's true by that point.
Nathan Eovaldi, or
we haven't talked about him at all. There's been some rumblings there. That's true. That game would be July 28th, which is 2 days before the deadline. It's 11 days away.
It's the next 2 weeks are.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Just sports adjust. I mean, like you got training camp getting underway here. This is. Yep. I always say this is, especially because baseball places its All-Star game well after the actual midpoint of the season.
Yeah,
I know basketball does that too, but You've got 67 games left, I think the Guardians have.
That's what they have. Yep.
And just it's gonna fly. It really is. It always the last 2 months of the season always fly by, and I think that's gonna be the case here. You're gonna have we have a ton to talk about the next 2 weeks with the trade
Oh, yeah.
deadline coming up, and a tough schedule for the Guardians too.
Big time.
And then and that's it. There's no more August waiver deadline. It's you have who you have, and you gotta chart your path to what you hope is the postseason and figure out what is your formula to win games against the best teams. And that certainly starts this weekend because you're facing a formidable opponent in the Padres, and you're going to war with who right now are your three best starting pitchers.
Yeah.